It further says that the call to start a Section 189 process apparently was made by you. Is this true?
Well, I don't think that, look, I do not answer to multiple choice questions of true or false.
Maybe it might be true that one of the hardest job to do is to be an ANC spokesperson. I remember Maharaj back in the day used to be the spokesperson of the ANC, and he was super defending former President Jacob Zuma, and now he's always in the news dissing him and looking forward for justice and talking about the whole thing of state capture, you know, whether you're on this side of the faction or on that side of the faction. That's what you would see Maharaj being on all about on the TV screen. And then it was Mr. Somnambulist himself, Zizi Kodwa. Remember him. Each and every time he speaks, one has to go and consult with the dictionary. Remember when he spoke about the Audi Alteram Partem? Huh? Remember that? Have your day in court in Latin, just to simplify it. And also, speaking of court or some form of legal processes that one has to go through, Zizi Kodwa went to the what's known as the Zondo Commission, and that's where he admitted of getting an amount of just close to $1 million in terms of the goodies being bought for him, right? Now we have Pule Mabe. He takes the cake, eh? He takes the cake. Whenever the journalist, if he goes to either NCA, SABC, or Newsroom Africa, and he get questioned, and all of a sudden he'll just start giving an example about folks who are interviewing him, and they just asked him a simple question not long ago, and they just started saying, "Hey, listen, I do not answer to multiple questions," although the question that they asked him was a true or false question. And it has emerged that in the NEC was one of the people who were pressing and pushing forward an item that the ANC employees should be retrenched, or at least be reduced in size.
What I can tell you...
But is it true? Did you make this call?
Well, it's not necessary for me to really legitimize things that are out in the public without me speaking. So the organization has got to look at a number of things.
Does that include Section 189?
Well, perhaps you have forgotten. This point was placed in the public domain long time ago. The ANC has said, as part of the things that it might have to consider to deal with its own challenges, could be retrenchment, could be reorganization, and all of that.
And you can remember, you'll always see him when the ANC employees are outside picketing, or just picketing outside a place where the NEC members are at, having one of these ANC lukhotlas. He'll be standing there, fielding questions from the media, stating that he's here and he's standing hand in hand with the employees of the ANC. And here we are, you know. And the other funny thing is they've asked about, the media folks asked him about this issue of party funding. He says, hey, listen, yes, of course, we want the party funding policy to be changed. And we want to remove, we want to give the latitude for funders to not be able to disclose who they are, you know, the ones who don't want to disclose who they are. And when the journalist asked him, say, but listen, the whole thing is an issue of transparency. The reason why we want to know who's funding who is an issue of transparency. And he goes on a tangent.
Coming out to the public who is funding the parties is for transparency, right? And to avoid corruption, etc.
Well, but it doesn't mean that when a funder gives money without disclosing their own identity, they are corrupt. Okay. No. I mean, the other day I was asking my son a simple question, that in rows of 5, and then he had the 3 rows to sit on, which row would he choose? And you know what he said? He said he'll choose the middle row. And I said, why are you going to choose the middle row? He said, no, Dad, because I'm not outspoken.
He went on about saying, telling the journalist, I think it was Masego Ratla, saying, hey, when you're driving down the street, just paraphrasing, when you're driving down the street and somebody asks for 10 rands, you give them 10 rands, you probably don't tell them what your name is.
You know, when
So you don't want disclosures?
No, we don't have a problem with disclosures.
Okay.
It is the funders. Not every funder likes disclosing. You see, I mean, if you drive past the robots here and you meet people on the streets and they ask you for 10 rand, I'm sure sometimes you don't even tell them that you're Masego. If you've got 10 rand, you just open your purse and give it to them.
It's just, I mean, crazy town, what's really is going on. But you can understand, anyone who has to be the Speaker of the African National Congress, I mean, has to go through all these hoops and bull and in order to make sure that a crappy situation is tolerable, and as a result it makes that very individuals look weird. I mean, because you have to defend what is not to be defended.
So not everyone, Masego, is like you, appears on television, speaks to politicians and all of that. Others are just
about
easy.
the ANC, but thank you very much.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the ANC spokesperson, Pule Mabe, and my takes. My name is Mamuji, and thanks for watching the Mamuji Show, and I'm out.